Hello everyone, welcome back to another Workbench Wednesday. Haven't done one of these for a while. We're here today because Sparky 107, as seen on YouTube, put together one of these things. Caboose Industries switch stands. And despite the instructions, he couldn't figure out how to get the flags, as he called them, to turn when you turn the handle. Well, I mentioned that I'd built this one and the flags turned just fine. So he asked me to go and buy another one and show him how it's done. Well, I didn't go buy another one because I already had 3 in my stash. Anyway, Sparky, for you, before we get too far into this, I want you to take a look at my workbench. See how neat and tidy that is, Sparky? My workbench is always like that, in my dreams. Okay, well, let's see what we can do with this. I haven't looked at one of these kits. I haven't opened one in 30 odd years. Anyway, we're going to take a look and see if I can get another set of flags. We call them targets. I have seen a few with bullet holes in. Anyway, see if I can get one going. I don't know what you paid for yours, Sparky. This is the model 204S and listed at $8.95 each. That's a few years ago. Guess what I actually paid for them? $3. $3 a piece. All of them listed at $8.95. Anyway, let's get one open and get on with the show. Okay, the first instruction says to select one of these, depending on your turnout type, and insert into the T slot, as they're calling it. So I'm using Pico turnout, so this one will be most suitable. So I'm going to get that cut off of there. And right on the end of here, it's going to be hard to see in this this being black. It's going to be hard to see, but anyway, there is a T slot there, and that pushes into there and clicks in. At least I think it does. It'll take a little bit of work, which is good because you don't want it coming out once it's in there. There we go. Almost had it. Okay, that's in. And what's the next instruction say? Says to mount the turnout. Well, I'm not going to mount the turnout. There is an adapter base here to raise it up, bring it up to track level. That pin there now will fit on there. That little adapter. What it says next is to center the points and center this. Center that little handle and then mount the points, or the switch machine lever. Anyway, we're not doing that part. What we're really interested in is getting these flags to turn. So that's on to the next stage. So to complete this, lots of spare parts, lots of pieces we don't need, selection actually of parts. So we got the switch stand itself, we have a rod, piece of wire, a washer, tiny little washer, that's going to be fun, and we have a geared piece here which has a protrusion on it which forms the other washer opposing this one. And I've selected this particular style of target. I'm going to paint it up before the end of the video so that we can see how it moves. So the rod goes in down through this hole here. The washer goes on the other side of the rod with the boss upward. Then back down through down through another hole there underneath. Maybe I should use the other end of the toothpick here. Anyway, down in through there. Then the gear comes on down from the top and feeds into there. And then we've got to secure these with ACC. So that's our next move. We'll see how this goes. It is so tiny. So there's the rod. Down through the hole. And feed it on to the washer. That washer's a pretty good fit. Oh, and it's gone. It took off. There it is. We'll try that again. In through the hole. Onto the washer. I don't think I'm getting this, am I? That washer doesn't have the hole drilled all the way through. Interesting. I wonder if the other one did. Yeah, the other one did. Had a hole right through it. Well, I'm going to carry on with this one, try and get it. It's nice if it's a good tight fit. I don't have my hammer here. I did actually have to hammer the washer through onto the rod, which I'm actually quite pleased about because it means it's going to be good and tight. Okay, so that's got to be adjusted on there to be in the right place, and now I've got to see if I can get this in the reverse way. Sorry, I keep getting out of shot here. Good. Okay, well that doesn't want to go in there, but anyway, we'll try the gear from the top. This is a slightly different one to the one I built many years ago, but the principle's all the same anyway. Right, so the gear goes on there. Now, what they've told you to do in the instructions is to center the lever on its travel, and center the gear onto the, mesh the gears with the little gear piece here centered as well. So I'm going to carry on off camera for a bit. The idea is to get that down into place now and ACC the gear onto the rod. Got to be careful not to get it onto the moving parts. We'll see how that turns out. Okay. I ended up turning that washer upside down, putting the flat plate against the base of the frame here, and I've ACC'd it onto the rod. The rod moves around quite a lot, but there is a small boss on this gear plate. Hopefully you can see that small boss sticking up there, and that will fit down into the hole and tighten everything up. So that's the next move. Push that into place onto the rod. Sorry, I keep getting out of shot here. I've got the camera very close to the work. There we go. So the gear goes on there. It's quite a loose fit. Now, according to the instructions, you center the rod, the throw bar, and center the gear. Engage the gears centered on there. Now, if I can get that down on there with my trusty pliers here. Now, it doesn't say anything in the instructions about putting the other washer on top of that, but I could do that. Let me just check the position of that. I've got to pick it up to do it. Yeah, that seems to be the right spot. So now it's back to the ACC. Tiny bit of that on the end of my toothpick. And a tiny bit of that. To hold the gear to the rod. There we go. Now, before that sets up, I'm just going to take a very close look at it myself and see that all the components are where I want them. They're not quite. There we go. Okay, I'm going to let that set up, and then we're on to the target. So there it is. Got a set of flags on top. This is not the kind that we see out west here. Ours are quite different, so I've not glued this one on. But anyway, I've painted it up, red on that side, green the other. So now, when you throw the throw the point, the marker changes red to green. Throw it back again, green to red. It is doable, Sparky. Now here's the one I made 30 odd years ago. This is a slightly different one, different model, and this one called for a spring to be mounted between the throw bar and the switch stand. Now that spring really puts some tension on the point rails if you're using Atlas points. I'm using Pico, so I don't need that. Anyway, yeah, here's this one. You can see green showing there on the square at the top. Like I say, this is more the style we have here. Throw the point, and it's red. Red in the square at the top, and a big red marker. Throw it around again, and you just see the edge of the red oval and the green top there. So that's it for this Workbench Wednesday. It's been a bit of a messy one, I think, but anyway, Sparky, read the instructions, and it does work. See you again another time. Bye for now, everyone.